Le Bebe. Oh, who
I don't know who
The man who read it like that. That's Lil Baby. Lil Bebe. It's because academics is beefing Lil Baby. So
I'm fucking
okay.
That's hilarious.
So
okay,
Lil
Baby's
baby mama says she was getting approached as a 304 because all her friends were 304s. Birds of
That makes sense though, fam.
Wait.
Oh
Okay, so this is Jayda Wayda. This is Lil Baby's baby mom. I'd like to see Ayo. Since our previous off-camera conversation about the conventional looking black girl, what would you say about her face-wise? She has fat ass because she has a BBL, I'm pretty sure. So it's but face-wise, would you say that she's
Would it be too much to ask a Google search of Jayda Wayda because the play button is
press play.
Her face?
It's so real. What you watch and what you pour into is
with your wife?
Who you are.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people
it's
that was
not
you know that quote, you are who you hang around.
There's some people who are just like past the threshold of what you consider so much past the threshold of what you consider attractive that you're like, I don't even need to know your personality. Just based off of your look, I would wife that.
And she's not that.
She's not that.
Yeah.
She's like, you're good looking enough to wife.
You're good looking.
But let me get to
like
know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the perfect way to describe it because I feel the same way. Still, she's not like, ooh, I'd wife that. But
yeah,
you
kind of like the
Aisha
chick where you're like, damn, I'd suck her toes. There's levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have to love you to suck your toes.
Oh man.
Birds of a feather flock together. I used to be like, no. Because I had some real hoe friends, like hoes. And it started dawning on me when people were like coming at me a certain way, like guys coming at me a certain way. And like certain caliber men were like trying to, the way they were talking to me or they would see me out.
They treat me like
I'm
a hoe.
Present themselves. And it's like, hold up, bitch. You must think I'm on what she on. And absolutely they do because it's like, you ain't about to just be kumbaya hanging with nobody that's on that and you not on that. Like, be for real. So I started paying attention to like who you keep in close proximity because that also alters who you are and how you live. So you got to be careful. And energy is so real.
Yeah. Okay,
I like that. I like that a lot.
Do you guys believe that birds of a feather flock together?
When
it comes to hoes,
1,000,000%. I think it applies to. I feel like it just applies to all like groupings. Like you are who, like you're gonna become who you hang around with. But and even if you don't become who you hang around with, it is still very limiting on like, I don't know, I guess your mental expansion, like your mental maturity, because it's like if this is all you see, like it's just like now your bar of like, oh, I'm a good person because I'm better than the people I hang out with. And I think people might, let that get to them too much.
Okay.
I like when Rooks has strong takes. What's your thoughts, Ayo?
I would say like there's a lot of nuance to it, but the point that I can hold on to is that we tend to normalize ourselves. So we tend to like average ourselves out by the people that we surround ourselves with. Correct. So essentially, when you see the people around you doing certain things, you start to believe that is normal. So if you see, like if the people around you sell drugs, right? You believe that selling drugs is normal.
Yeah.
Now, if you go into a different environment where they're like, no, selling drugs is not okay. You're like, what do you mean? Like all the niggas that I've been around sell drugs. So subconsciously that shit is affecting the way that you look at life, So if you hang around.
Do you believe overall birds of the same feathers flock together?
Yeah, I think in a long enough time frame, you become the people that you hang around, like kind of like what Rook said. But at the beginning, there are people that just hang out with others just for the sake of
community.
Yeah. So for example,
socializing.
My uncle, right? When he was younger, he used to smoke. And the reason why he got into smoking was because he had a friend who got him into smoking. And the reason that his friend got him into smoking was because he thought it was cool to hang around people who smoked. But they didn't smoke. Like the guy didn't smoke himself. He just
energy
thought,
is so real.
If I hang around someone who smokes, I'm cool by
attachment,
but I'm never gonna smoke.
Who you
so
are.
it's just like If you're thinking birds of a feather flock together, then it's like, you're probably thinking they both smoke because they hang out because they're smokers. But it's like one of them just wants to be around the other guy because he smokes.
No.
Okay. You guys want to hear from my thoughts?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm very split on this because I do agree in terms of like there is an influence of the environment that it has on you where exactly I feel like that weed example was or like smoking example was perfect because me growing up,
the way they were
I feel like
to me, or they would see me out.
Growing up in the hood, I was the good youth.
And it's like, hold up.
I was a good youth growing up in the hood because I wouldn't like I was always be there for everything, but I wouldn't super indulge in like when niggas are jumping people and shit. I'd be like, okay, let me take it. When niggas is doing certain shit, I'll be like, oh, I'll watch. I'll be a part. You guys can all tell me about it. We could all talk about it, but I'm not going to be like knee deep in the trenches with a lot of the shit that they were doing. You know what I'm saying? But then.
So you gotta be careful.
Thinking that I was a good kid in that environment, once I got older and I was out of that environment and I'm around other people, more like, civilian type people, and then I'm the nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I didn't realize that they're looking at me how I may have looked at other niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I may not be on that scale of it, but because of my conditioning being around it, I'm still perceived as that, and I still kind of am that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, me being an independent thinker, I always had the wherewithal to be like in those environments that I'm not that, so I wouldn't partake in certain things.
Yeah. So that's why I think
so it's like the birds of the feather is like it has a huge influence on who you are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like if you are a girl who hangs out with hoes, you can be influenced around certain whole things, but you may not be the one who's just going to fuck a nigga because you're around a bunch of girls who fuck a nigga. Right. So it's like, that's where I'm split, where it's just like, I don't think just because you hang out with hoes that you're going to be a hoe, but you may pick up some hoe tendencies.
Yeah. I think we all kind of touched on that. Like Rooks was talking about how it limits the expansion of like the horizons of your mind. I was kind of saying, prefacing it as
we all kind of said the same
I was
thing,
kind of prefacing it as like it affects the like what you see as normal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So like if you hang out with people who are hoes and they're cheating on their boyfriends and shit like that, you're like, it's bad, but there's worse things.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you hang out with people like, no, what the fuck?
Nah,
how the fuck? How dare? Yeah.
And now you're the one that's like, oh shit.
It's like if me or you are around niggas and someone pulls out a strap, it's gonna be kind of different than if AO was around. What's going on here? It's literally like that, and that's I feel like that's the perfect analyzation of this situation. Yeah. Good job, guys. Good job. Yeah. Let's go.
You chat too much. Chat too much. Chat too much. Chat too much.